Item hashtag SCP-295. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-295 is to be contained within a 50m x 50m concrete room, with all surfaces coated with flame-retardant material. All personnel entering and exiting containment must comply with Level 3 contamination screening. 3 flame-retardant exposure suits are to be maintained on the premises and are required for any and all testing involving SCP-295. Feeding will occur once per week, and consists of a meal of 20 kilograms of naturally grown pine wood, harvested near the Site-19 facility. Description: SCP-295 is a number of caterpillars resembling Sintomida epilys in appearance. A single specimen of SCP-295 is capable of creating an unidentifiable substance, which has several unique qualities attributed to it. SCP-295 possesses similar physical attributes to a common caterpillar, with a notable exception being SCP-295's incredible speed when in pursuit of sustenance. When flammable material is introduced into SCP-295's environment, it will quickly move to attempt to consume it. The substance produced by SCP-295, hereby known as SCP-295-1, is a viscous fluid that possesses natural bioluminescence of variable intensity, averaging at 150,000 Lm. The intensity fades over time, but sufficient heat is capable of renewing its incandescence. However, the danger lies in its other quality, which is its ability to cause violent combustion in any flammable object it comes in contact with. All matter destroyed in this manner leaves no ash or other byproducts behind, although an increase in mass has been observed in specimens of SCP-295 after combustion. A notable exception is living animal matter, which SCP-295-1 is incapable of affecting in all circumstances. SCP-295 is capable of reproduction given sufficient matter to combust, or when a specific mass has been attained. When this occurs, SCP-295 will pupate, forming a shell of dense carbon with a similar molecular structure to coal. Once a week has passed, both the pupa and the specimen will combust, while the ashes reform into 2 additional caterpillars, after which the process begins anew. Occasionally, only one specimen of SCP-295 will reform from the resultant ashes, rather than a pair. These ashes will not always reform immediately, and can remain inert. Ashes left on personnel's clothing can reform later, and further spread SCP-295's population. SCP-295 was discovered in redacted Ukraine, after a series of improbable and volatile forest fires had reduced a large swathe of forests into barren wastes. Agent Redacted, who had family in the area, noted that the fires had left not a single thing in their wake. When Dr. Redacted was dispatched to investigate, he found a complete lack of life and vegetation, with the exception of a species of caterpillar that was not local to the area. What had alarmed him more, however, was the sudden destruction of his clothing and belongings by a swarm of starved SCP-295s. After several attempts and more than a few changes of clothing, SCP-295 was brought to Site-19 and safely contained. Addendum 295-A. Despite months of regular feeding, the number of specimens have neither declined nor have they increased since being contained. The cycle of reproduction has stayed consistent, with the majority of recorded combustion resulting in 2 new specimens. How the population has kept itself in check is unknown at this time. Addendum 295-B. See Incident 295-K. Addendum 295-C. It's possible that there are still wild specimens of SCP-295 out in the world, considering the trouble we have containing it in the lab. Any attempts to contain populations of SCP-295 in the field are to be made on location, with the intent to isolate and terminate. Note: this stuff has some serious potential for weaponization, if we could get enough of it out of the little worms. Find a way to carry and dispense it and you'd put napalm to shame. Agent Redacted. Addendum 295-D. Experiment Log 295-1A. Experiment Log of Dr. Kondraki, testing practical uses of SCP-295-1. Date: redacted to redacted. Experiment 1. Human consumption testing. Materials: 5 ml of SCP-295-1. Procedure: Class D personnel given SCP-295-1 to ingest. Result: subject reported mild heartburn and nausea, but no serious adverse effects observed. Subject's digestive system temporarily operated at 25% additional efficiency. Experiment 2. Usage as a portable source of light. Materials: 20 milliliters of SCP-295-1, glass tubing, rubber grip, lighter. Procedure: glass tubing filled with SCP-295-1, reinforced by rubber grip. Result: device produced sufficient light to completely illuminate an area of 31 square meters at 16,145 lux for several hours. Applying a lighter to the surface of the glass, relit the solution completely. Experiment 3. Usage as an incendiary device. Materials: 200 milliliters of SCP-295-1, glass globe. Procedure: globe filled with SCP-295-1 and thrown into wooden test structure. Result: all material that came in contact with SCP-295-1 instantly combusted as expected. Remaining structure of the building burned abnormally quickly from secondary conflagration. Only 20% of the structure's initial mass remained after testing. Note: immediately following the conclusion of the test, approximately 56% of captive SCP-295 specimens began to pupate. Dr. Kondrocki. Experiment 4. Usage as lighter fluid. Materials: 100 milliliters of SCP-295-1, 1 bag of consumer-grade charcoal, mid-range coal grill, 2 beef burger patties. Procedure: SCP-295-1 poured onto coal, while beef patties are prepared. Result: data expunged. Note: I cannot fathom the lack of sense this required. Consider your position as an assistant terminated, and your security level revoked. I hope that gives you something to think about in between skin grafts. Dr. Kondrocki. Addendum 295-E, Experiment Log of Agent T redacted, testing practical uses of SCP-295-1. Experiments overseen and approved by Dr. Redacted. Date: redacted. Experiment 1, usage as lighter fluid, revised. Materials: 1 milliliter SCP-295-1, 500 g consumer-grade charcoal, mid-range coal grill, 2 by 100 g beef burger patties. Procedure: coals arranged in a standard rough cone. SCP-295-1 applied to 3 coals. Tester wore standard silver suit heat protection gear. Result: the treated coals combusted almost instantly, as expected. Remaining coals ignited very quickly. Patties cooked in approximately half expected time. Cooked patties, when tested in laboratory, showed no evidence of any unusual components. Note: as expected, the secondary fires produce only normal combustion products and effects. And to whoever came up with the first lighter fluid test, you people are supposed to be research assistants. Perhaps next time, you should do some research when you design a test? Dr. Kondrocki let you off easy. Agent T redacted. Experiment 2, possible application for rescue work. Materials: 1 D-class personnel, 1 steel girder, 1 milliliter SCP-295-1, 20 g thermite paste. Procedure: Class D's leg trapped under girder. A line of thermite paste was placed on the girder upslope from the pinned leg. SCP-295-1 applied to the thermite paste. Result: the thermite ignited and combusted almost instantly, severing the girder with almost no splatter or spark. The upslope section fell to the ground. Water sprayed over the severed end steamed only slightly and briefly. D-class was not harmed. Note: just what I'd hoped for. The thermite released its energy and burned through the steel it was actually touching, but the reaction was too fast for much heat to transfer to the rest of the girder. This could be a very useful intrusion technique in addition to its rescue applications. Agent T redacted. Experiment 3, effects in oxygen-deprived environment. Materials: 1 filled 10-liter aquarium, 1 lead weight, 1 by 100 gram untreated oak block, 1 non-flammable syringe, 1 milliliter SCP-295-1. Procedure: the oak sample was weighted down in the aquarium, then injected with SCP-295-1. Result: over a period of approximately 2 seconds, the oak burned to charcoal. Note: interesting. Apparently, there was enough air in the channels to support very limited combustion. Next time, I'll try waterlogged wood. Agent T redacted.